The Golden Mountain. Long, long ago, there lived a merchant and his son, Ivan, in a village. Ivan was young and fun-loving. He spent a lot of money in return for some fun. The day came when he saw himself ruined. He had nothing to eat and nothing to drink. He took a shovel and went to the marketplace to see if perchance somebody would hire him as a worker. Mr. Lair, a proud merchant worth many thousands, came along in a gilded carriage. As soon as they saw him, all the fellows at the marketplace rushed away and hid themselves in corners. Only one remained, and that was Ivan. "Do you look for work, good fellow? Let me hire you," Mr. Lair said to him. Ivan, in firm voice, said, "So be it. That's what I came here for." Mr. Lair asked, "What would you charge for your service?" Ivan declared, 100 rubles a day will be sufficient for me." Mr. Lair shrugged. "Oh, that is too much." Ivan carelessly said, "If it is too much, go and look for someone else. Plenty of people were around here, and when they saw you coming, all of them rushed away." "All right, come to the landing place tomorrow," said Mr. Lair. The next day, early in the morning, Ivan arrived at the landing. The very rich merchant was already there, waiting. They boarded a ship and went to the sea. For quite a long time they journeyed, and finally Ivan perceived an island. Upon that island there were high mountains, and near the shore something seemed to be in flames. "Sir, I can see something on fire," said Ivan. Mr. Lair proudly said, "No, it is my golden palace." They landed and came ashore. The rich merchant's wife hastened to meet him. Along with her was their young daughter, Serena, a lovely girl, prettier than one could think or even dream of. The family met. They greeted one another and went to the palace. And along with them went Ivan, their new workman. They sat around an oak table for a tasty meal. Mr. Lair said, "Let us have a good time today and leave work for tomorrow." Serena appreciated the young, brave, handsome, and stately Ivan. She left the room and made him a sign to follow her. Then she gave him a touchstone and a flint. "Take it," Serena said. "When you are in trouble, it may be useful." The next day, Mr. Lair, along with Ivan, went to the high golden mountain. Ivan at once felt that there was no use trying to climb or even to crawl up. "Well," said Mr. Lair, "let us have a drink for courage." He gave Ivan some drowsy drink. As soon as he drank it, he fell asleep. Mr. Lair took out a sharp knife, killed a wretched horse, cut it open, put the fellow inside, pushed in the shovel, sewed the horse's skin together, and himself sat down in the bushes. All at once, black crows with iron beaks came flying. They took hold of the carcass, lifted it up to the top of the high mountain, and began to pick at it. The crows soon ate up the horse and were about to begin on the merchant's workman. When he awoke, he pushed away the crows, looked around, and asked out loud, "Where am I?" Mr. Lair, standing at the foot of the mountain, cunningly answered, "On the Golden Mountain. Take the shovel and dig for gold." Ivan dug the gold and threw it down. The cunning merchant loaded it upon carts. "Enough!" finally shouted the master. "Thanks for your help. Farewell." Ivan desperately asked, "How shall I get down?" "As you please. There have already perished 99 of such fellows as you. With you the count will be rounded and you will be the 100th, replied Mr. Lair, and the proud rich merchant was off. "What shall I do?" thought poor Ivan. "It is impossible to go down, but to stay here means death, a cruel death from hunger, or the black crows with iron beaks circling above." Ivan tried to think how it all happened, and he remembered the lovely girl, Serena, and what she said to him while giving him the touchstone and the flint. "I fancy she had something in mind. Let me try," thought Ivan. Ivan took out the stone and flint, struck it once, and lo, 2 brave fellows were standing before him. "What is your wish? What are your commands?" said they. "Take me from this mountain down to the seashore," requested Ivan. At once, the 2 took hold of him and carefully brought him down. As he walked along the shore, he saw a vessel come sailing near the island. "Ahoy, good people, take me along," requested Ivan. "No time to stop," said the captain, and they went sailing by. But the winds arose and they encountered a heavy storm. "It seems as if this fellow over there is not an ordinary man. We would better go back and take him along," decided the sailors. They turned the prow towards the island and took Ivan along with them and brought him to his native town. After a few days, Ivan again took his shovel and went to the marketplace in search of work. The very same rich merchant, Mr. Lair, came along in his gilded carriage. All other people ran away but Ivan. When Ivan saw Mr. Lair, he thought of a plan to teach him a lesson. This time, Mr. Lair hired him for 200 rubles a day. He took him to the same place, the Golden Mountain, and offered him a drink. "Before I have a drink, you, my master, should drink first. Let me treat you this time," said Ivan. Ivan had already prepared some drowsy stuff, and he quickly mixed it with the wine and presented it to the master. The proud merchant drank and fell asleep. Ivan played the same trick as was done by Mr. Lair earlier. Lair was carried up the mountain by the crows. Ivan asked him to dig the gold and threw it down. When Mr. Lair asked him to bring him down, he replied, "There have already perished 99 fellows before you. With yourself, there will be the 100th. He arrived at the Golden Palace with 12 heavy carts filled with gold. He married the lovely Serena and moved to a large town to live. Mr. Lair himself, like his many victims, became the prey of the black crows with iron beaks. A Russian folktale.